having a good program and an agenda as well. So we all have to sacrifice to attend the Zoom conference call. We do sacrifice. Yeah. I think that's just an overview of what happened in the last Zoom conference call. Can someone add something?
I think one of the things that we also discussed was the fact that we shouldn't be discouraged by the poor attendance in last meeting, and that we are going to get to where we want to be piecemeal, and that we are going to continuously view the audience. And we also recognize the fact that Zoom usage is a challenge to so many. So some other will catch up with this technology. We are going to witness progress as we move from one meeting to the other, which I think is happening today. Last week we had fewer members. This week we have more members. We have people with technological challenges, which I'm sure if they are not able to regularize, I see Mr. President, they're struggling, then we're going to have that fixed before the next meeting. So I think all what we envisage, in addition to what you said in the last meeting, we're witnessing it today because our numbers in the Zoom is growing.
That's true, that's true. I've seen the president struggling to, can someone write him to touch the audio button? Someone can write him to touch the audio button. So they can have the sound. So while waiting on the president to join us formally, please, when you try to brainstorm on how can we better, the third point on the agenda, how can we better this our alumni? You can brainstorm on it. Do we have any feasible projects at hand? If yes, what are the projects?
Let me just come up with what most of the proposals that we had from the ESCO, which I believe the president, if he was on here, he could possibly bring them to the general floor. Well, like how we can go ahead with charity, and that was one of the proposals, that we can go ahead with a charity and see how we can help any of our community, any part of our community back in Fontem. And we didn't discuss further on how we can raise the fund. So, but that was just something that the framework of what one of the members proposed. And then another proposal was like, can we have some project that can generate income? But this one was quickly discarded by other members because not everybody will be up to standard to contribute equally if we are going to carry out a project that would benefit the members. Let's say like opening of schools, the treasurer, who is Fontem Rosemary, proposed like opening the school or opening like forgetting the other ones. But it's quickly one of the members said, no, if we do like that, not everybody will be up to the last standard, maybe keeping the same amount of money. And then, yeah, those were some of the things that we discussed. And on the meeting itself, on the meeting framework itself, which the meeting ought to, or the meeting can go forward to better itself, we were proposing to have a bank account which members would easily make their transaction, even abroad, or somebody you can forward your money into that account. And maybe the president, the treasurer will be the only person who have the bank card. In case they have to use any money, he can use the card to withdraw the money and send it wherever it's going through mobile money. So these were some of the things that we discussed in the ESCO that ought to be tabled in the General Assembly, and then we deliberate from there and see how we can move it ahead. Thank you very much. Yeah, I finished with my discussion. The floor is open for other contributions and what and how we can move ahead.
Can I make a comment,
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I know I'm not a member of the current executive. Those are very good objectives, which some of them sound like long-term objectives, and others short-term. I think what I will recommend the executive and to the assembly to do is that we first of all have to make sure that we maintain the status quo. What does that mean? We have a tradition of coming to the assistance of helping members, and the first thing the new ESCO should do is to make sure that there is a framework in place that whoever falls in the past category, those in the same category like those who have assisted, is able to get the same benefit. That should be something like a take-home assignment for the executive, to make sure that the least you can do for now is to make sure that what we have been doing since we started this organization is continued. If it means creating an opportunity for people to start dropping in some financial resources, in event something happens, they just satisfy it from there rather than to wait until it happens. That will be better, because we have been reactive in the past rather than being proactive. So you can work towards maintaining the status quo by being proactive and getting people to chip in something in the event that we need to use it, and maintain the status quo but in a different way with less stress. I believe that is a good short-term goal for us. Another short-term goal might be how do we position ourselves in the event that it is possible for us to carry out a project as a group, because when they mention a school, it takes a lot in order to be able to start a school, and that is a long-term project. It would take financial resources, it would take acquaintance and trust to manage something like that, and it will take us time to build those resources and have mutual trust. So we can all endorse that as a long-term project and see how the relationship between us will turn out to be. We don't have any problem for now, but again, in terms of contributing and managing the little funds, we should be honest with ourselves that we have had some very bitter exchanges on how money is used on a very small scale. So we have to solidify trust at a low scale before we move it into a bigger project. I think that is what I would think I can contribute for now. Let's spend most of our time here trying to see how we galvanize and get our people together. I have seen what some of us happen to cut across 2 generations. I have been invited to the 1989 batch, which because I happen to repeat and I fall in that batch, and they're doing a tremendous job. Just activities, just getting people to come and educate. Like we have a Zoom meeting like this, we drop it out there and say, well, we had a meeting and this is what we discussed. We can have people to come talk to us. That is just mobilizing and letting people know that we too will exist as a batch. These are some of the things that we can do, and we share intelligence between us because we all happen to fall in different domains, even though we are in the same batch, and people can come from their areas and make a presentation. So these are some of the short terms that goals that we can implement, and one that we don't need any energy is just having an opportunity to meet on a regular basis and see each other as we are doing here today. On a Sunday, it is good that on a Sunday Even if you have to log in for 30 minutes and see the faces of your friends, that is good. Better than nothing. So these are some very little objectives that we can all take a commitment to it and maintain it moving forward. That will be my contribution for now. Thank you.
Yeah, can I say something here?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, just like Mr. Pascal has been saying, the group, even though we have been operating for like a year now, but the way I look at the group is still a very young group. So if we begin to look at like long-term projects, I think that alone may discourage some people not even to join. Just like you said, everybody might not be able, because for example, if you see the contributions that are going on from the last time, some people are even facing it very difficult to contribute to help our brothers who are in need. So like Pascal has just been saying, trying to make sure that our number increase, trying to make sure that we invite so many people, I think can be the primary aim for now. So that when we come together and have a good number and then assess the level at which the movement is growing, then we can think of long-term projects. For now, we can just maybe concentrate on bringing our members together, concentrate on trying to help those who have those who are in need of. For now, can be better.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Peter. Yeah, I think we are talking one thing to see how we can galvanize, bring the members together. But if you ask me, okay, I would prefer let's keep the house clean. How can we go about this? You know, sometimes I believe in draconian measures, which may not be the best. We should start with registration. That I'm sure that will be the 1st of January. All members, all those who wish to be members should register first. Because I discovered that in our forum, we are about 25 like that or 30. But how many of us do contribute, even our ideas, even to click a thumbs up in birthday wishes? We don't do. We have most of the members are all silent members. Why is it like that? For the past 1 year, we have no legacy that we've left. We've not left our footprints in the sands of time. No legacy. Members are nonchalant. Do they love the group? They don't love the group. We don't know. How can we encourage them? On my part, let's start with registration. Let's sensitize members, not at least, even it's birthday. Every member should at least click even thumbs up. Those who cannot write can even use audio. Sometimes I use audio to encourage others to contribute orally, not necessarily financially. Now, though I'm saying that we keep the house clean, there is still an ambiguity in it. What of those who are benefited and they don't want to contribute, or they want to register, or they have that lackluster attitude to help others in moment of adversity? What do we do to them? That's about the things that I think we should look at it and come up with resolutions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bibi. I believe on this particular point of a project, it was just, I'm just like trying to let the members know that those were some of the ideas, but it wasn't considered within the ESCO because of all the disadvantages or all the loopholes that you guys have mentioned there. Coming back to the making sure that all the members benefit from it, is already an ongoing something. That is something that everybody is aware. Joining the meeting, you are aware that if somebody dies, you contribute, or somebody is on the weaker side, you have to contribute, and that is already stated in the Constitution or our bylaws, which I believe the Secretary General already time and again forwarded to the general floor for reading, for reviewing. So that one is just an ongoing, that we don't need to go back and deliberate on it. It's just something that everybody should be aware of it. I equally send out a reminder that we need to identify ourselves. Identifying ourselves means going on with the registration, and the registration is already ongoing now for next year. So for 2021. So if anybody drop the registration fee now, it's now going for next year. All members coming in now is for next year. So next year we know how many members are there, and we already talked with the president to contact those that are like being so silent in the meeting. Some of them registered last the previous years, but they don't partake in anything, they don't show up, they don't do anything. So are they team members or they are not members? We don't know until when we arrive in 2021, and then we come out the list of all the members. And then when we have the members, we can now think our membership and see what we can do as a to help. Yeah. So if we don't have a member, we don't know who are members, we don't know who are the one to contribute, and then we still have a very big problem there. So once we know the members, and then we move on from there, I believe it will be a very good thing. And I am not, I equally qualified to be a member of the 1998, but didn't have the opportunity to join. But I believe people like Mr. Pascal, BP, and the rest that are in that group, I believe they can still bring up their ideas, some of the ideas from there to assist us here, which I believe we see it can be of help. Like if you see any association growing, some of the ideas there can be forwarded here. We share the ideas here, and then we'll see how we can move ahead from there. Thank you very much, and we keep the deliberation open.
Where is the question, Richard?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
We are listening.
All right. So I think what I'll contribute is that, like, I think Martin talked about doing short-term project, because like he said, if we introduce like long-term projects where it would entail people contributing a little more, it would scare people. And as Barrister B rightly said, that we should start by doing some cleanup. I think what I would contribute is that let's start by knowing how many people do we have, and that is done through the registration. People should register, and then we'll see how many people are there, how many people are willing to participate, and then we go from there. Also, looking at, say for example, like you said, some people benefited in the previous year or in the current year, and then but they are not being participants, which means something happens and they do not contribute. I think that is unfair. It's unfair, and we need to call those people to say, hey, I think this particular behavior does not go right with the group, and they should be able to contribute. So, and then another thing that I would want to say is, I mean, since this charity begins at home, this is Christmas time, I think, and if most people, let me say, if I look at it, we have people on ground zero that are probably having difficulties. So I think personally, what I would suggest is that those of you on ground zero, the president and BB, you probably look amongst us. I mean, when I say amongst us, I mean the members, and see who are those that are struggling to even maybe buy a present for a child or have a meal on Christmas Day. And we can start from there. We can say, hey, I'll give this amount to kind of help a brother, a classmate, to put a meal on the table on Christmas Day. Christmas is in 2 weeks, maybe. So I think that's my suggestion for now.
Hi, Richard, you took my mind. You took my mind. You know, when it comes to issue of humanitarian, that's an area which I love to serve, to be like Jesus Christ, to be selfless. Yeah, you know, we have members in our midst. We have our classmates who are not, I don't know how I use it, I may be wrong, who are not fortunate in life like some of us. Though I'm not fortunate, but at least I can thank God that I can eat $100 per day, no, $1 per day. At least thank God for that. So if we can see how we can identify this our classmates, let's start with our classmates first before going to IDPs in Lebialem. Our classmates first, we identify them, we see how we can even raise something and help them. Shall we count our blessings and naming them one by one? Thumbs up, Peter Richard.
Okay, and
I
let me
just
add
1 minute,
something.
Martin. Martin, can I say something, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah,
I think it's a
Valerie.
very, I think it's a very good idea what Richard has just said, and it comes at a time when, you know, at the right moment where people really need help. But if you look at this forum, where a lot of us are in this forum, there are people out, there are people still back in ground zero. And if we were to do something like that, you know, we need to have a criteria to define these people that we are going to help. It's a very good idea, but who do you reach out to, and who do you leave out, and what will be the basis of selecting these people that we have to help from the forum? So it's something that we have to think about it very critically, because we don't want to reach out and give a contribution to somebody, and then the next party hears and said, "Oh, why is it that this person got something and I didn't?" So it's a good idea, but at the same time, it's a very sensitive topic.
Can I say something?
Let me just add, or let me say something maybe contrary. We already have members, and within the members, we have seen those that are participating. And if we throw it out and members that have been active, and at one point they are not active, I believe that those are the ones that we can easily go within the group and see those that have been active and they own up, right? We publish their names in our group. Say, oh, we are going to contribute and help these people. Because if you don't bring up their names, and then we ask for more people to send their names, and then just to make sure that tomorrow somebody don't come and say, I didn't benefit. But if you send up their name and you never benefited from it, it's your problem. So if we put out a name and say, oh, we are volunteered to help the group, which that money is mostly will come from some of us from diaspora here, and then anybody else send the name, we can move from there. Rather than we just like, oh, how can we go? We must start from somewhere before we see the loopholes. The loopholes. So I believe the idea is good. What Richard is saying is good. We move ahead from there.
So Richard, we have done this before. I have personally registered some members who show the interest, but they are not able to register. There was a contribution that I decided to contribute for some particular people in the southern region. It is a good idea, and I don't think if we want to do it, that will those to help.
Exactly.
We know each other, and we honestly know who is struggling among us, and we can sit here and point those people without even going for feasibility studies. This is not a hard exercise.
Okay.
As I'm talking now, I
Pascal, I said that because in a forum like this, when you do things, you publish them, right?
Yeah.
And knowing how we are human beings, some people will, you know, I'm not saying that there will be some people who will come up with, you know, questions. You understand?
Yes.
Some people are not participating or cannot contribute, you know, as you said, because of their financial situation, right?
Correct.
And at a certain point, there are people also that might be contributing, but you don't really know, because that these people, they love, you know, the fact that we have a group, and they don't fail with their contribution.
That is true.
So you cannot just say because you know that this person is poor or this person is not because he's not contributing, and you base your decision on that. That's what I said. If you want to give money, or if you want to give a package, if you want to buy something for a family or one of your classmates, and you make it public, and there is somebody who's struggling and doesn't have, and then, you know, you will have a situation where people will start writing and say, so I know you said you know you can pick point, you can, you know, but that's just my own point.
Yeah.
When it comes to
it is you have a point, and all what we need to do is to make it public before and after.
Exactly.
Pascal drop 100, Mr. Richard drop 100. We are trying to give it to people who are struggling. We have identified some. If you know that you're struggling, let us know. Anybody who, if you don't speak up, we share it to those who indicate. And again, one thing that we have to understand is that this is we are volunteering. It is not an association money, that a contribution that they have decided to take and give to some people. They are just asking some few individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
And give them money.
Now you are making a point, because sorry, I was not aware of that. I thought that you guys are taking money from the coffers.
No.
Then that's absolutely clear. Then there is no doubt about that.
Yeah, Richard Quetta.
Yeah.
You are up.
Huh?
You wanted to say something, I guess.
Yeah, I want to say something. So what I want to add is, and I think Pascal kind of clarified it, and then Valley too is I think he's more clarified now, because Pascal said the money is not coming from the organization's coffers. So what I intended to, what my proposal was, like Pascal rightly said, is, I mean, if you look at the membership, not everybody is fortunate enough or is at the same, you know, financial status. So what I'm saying is, those of us, I'm fortunate. A lot of us here are fortunate to have left and do what we're doing. So, and Pascal already said that we're going to give that amount out so that the people on ground zero can identify those that are struggling. And it doesn't mean that they're just going to go pick up maybe one or two. They can pick up a broad number, and then we share just a little bit. If it's 5,000, it's 10,000, at least you know that my classmate gave this for Christmas. It's significant. So, and another thing I wanted to say is, I think I touched this with Barrister Bibi a little bit.
Yes.
I have an NGO that I formed, but I have not launched it. I'm going to launch it. So, and that NGO is to be able to kind of help people, educate people, mostly based like healthcare. I haven't launched it. I'm trying to finish up some stuff and then we'll launch it. But at this point, I can give something a little significant on behalf of that NGO, so my friends, my colleagues can benefit.
That's true.
So I think that's what I have.
Oh, thanks for your laudable contributions. Is Kenu there? Is Kenu online?
Yeah, he's still online.
Yeah, Kenu, can we hear from you? I saw one lady as well. I saw one lady.
Yeah, that is Krishna Rose. I don't know if she
doesn't have a mic.
I think most of them are struggling with the audio. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Why they come in, Barrister?
Yes, sir.
Just to look at what we are about to do from another direction. An organization, or what we're trying to do, we have to, as much as possible, try to make it relevant to those who are not part of this organization to appreciate it, and to those who are potentially or are supposed to be part of this who are not in here to see the need to come in. We have some other ex-students. There are some people that if you limit it to just Zoom meetings once in a while to come and see faces and go, that will not be enough motivation for them to come in. So some of the little activities, like making it relevant in terms of helping each other, like we have already been doing, and some personal gesture within the organization that give relevance to the organization in the eyes of onlookers, They say, oh, what are they doing? I'm going to Douala to pick up a package that my classmates sent. So we shall claim it, or we have the ex-student organization, and we were interacting there, and a few members decided to say, let me put a bottle of wine on my table. We are indirectly promoting ourselves and putting relevance to the group that we have. So it serves multiple purposes in helping and also making us relevant. One other thing that we are bypassing here, which I don't really want it to go unnoticed, is the whole question of somebody who has benefited, trying to pull back. That is something that we have to be aggressive with it. There is no reason, if you have been part of this group and you benefit, let's say 175,000 francs in terms of bereavement, you are under our obligation not to withdraw. No matter what, you cannot withdraw, change your mind and say, I don't belong to that group again, because you are not acting in good faith. And people like this, we have to follow them. We have to follow them progressively and progressively get aggressive. We charge the executive to contact them and say, hey, you are under a moral even legal obligation to come register and make sure that you keep up with the group. And if they don't respond, at some point we have to really crack down on them, because we should not let things like that go. Again, I was the treasurer, Mr. Richard. I'm the outgoing treasurer, and I have a significant amount of money with me that belongs to this organization. Nobody has reached out to me. I don't know if they're waiting to create the account that they will ask me to transfer that money to that account. But if that was the case, I should have been informed. But if I just sit and I'm sitting on money that belongs to people and nobody is asking me about the money, I don't think, I will think that this executive is not aggressive enough, because you should have reached out to me and asked me, what are you doing? We want that money, or keep that money and we'll tell you where to send it. The fact that nobody has reached out to me, I don't find that funny, and it seems to be a shortcoming on this executive.
Objection.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pascal. That particular aspect of the money, you know, I'm the financial secretary. I'm the financial secretary, and when I asked about the money, that the money should be forwarded to the treasurer, and I asked this through the outgoing president, because the outgoing president is the head of the executive, and you have to make sure that everything is like but never mention anything about money with you over there. So to the best of my knowledge, if you don't mention it that way, I believe all that money is with the treasurer. So I don't have an idea if the money, because I believe if you mention that the money has been transferred, one part is with the Pascal and one part was with the Fontem Evelyn, I believe the money could just easily be transferred to the new treasurer. But my worries at one point is,
yes,
if we don't have somewhere to keep the money and people keep the money in their own, how will it look like? Now the world is like becoming so open that people like sitting here, you have account in Ground Zero, you have account. There are so many banks that have account, and each time somebody does any deposit, we have an email. Those are some of the things I've discussed with the executive. I don't know how effective or how fast they are going to create that account. But they were looking at some limitations. I said, no, those should not be limitations. I believe I'm trying to like underlook some people. Many people in Ground Zero, they don't have a bank account. And when you don't have a bank account, you don't have an idea on how the banking system works. So if we keep thinking that we have money and then we give it to an individual, at one point, some people will not trust that the money should be with that individual. And then we are having a problem there. That is why from the beginning, I make sure that the meeting should open up an account somewhere that I can put money there. And then wherever the money is coming from, is sit in that account. So for that one, if the people in Ground Zero, like BB, I talked to BB, I talked to the president. The presidency is in the north. It's not a problem of going to the north from the north. You can open an account from the north and then it goes to everywhere. With the internet, people can transfer money into that account. So that one is like I will sit talk with the executive and I see how far they are going on operating an account, because if you have an account, we'll forward it to Pascal. Pascal will drop the money into that account. And then we'll sit there on the behalf of the meeting. Thank you very much for that contribution, Pascal. I'm really happy that some of these are some of the weaknesses that we have to take back to the executive and see how we can reinforce it.
Yes, I know Mr. Pascal has diagnosed something. We are currently working on it, because we're thinking of since the president is in north, he said he may come down south. The president and Fontem, Rosemary, and one other, even the VP, they can jointly open an account in any bank in Boya, wherein we can now meet Mr. Pascal to transfer the funds to the said account. Have confidence in Mr. Pascal. Can I eat our money? He's a man of impeccable integrity.
All right. Keep having your confidence. Maybe the
except
account will
otherwise.
Money.
Except otherwise. So please, you know, when we talk like this, it's good to come up with a small resolution. How are we going to help our classmates who are not that viable like us? Can we open a fund drive in the main forum, so we can chip in something? With the money, we cannot know those to assist. Or we try to know those to assist, then we will ask for the fund drive. I think that will not be the best. Let's try to have the money and know those to assist. Fund drive is voluntary. We open it, we say we can help them to buy even a bottle of Fanta on Christmas Day. And today is already, I think today is 13 years. So if you open even a 10 days fund drive, it will help. It will help them. It will alleviate the suffering masses. Please, let's do that.
Can I say something to that effect?
Yes, sir.
So what I think if we open up a fund drive, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
say, okay, we're doing something for our, maybe I'll say maybe the less fortunate ones, and you put it in a general forum. I don't know, psychologically, it might have an impact on those who are going to benefit or those who cannot contribute. Somebody might be feeling like, oh man, I wish I could contribute. So I think my proposal would be like, let's maybe Barrister Bibi or any other person, we can say, okay, let's channel our money. Those of us that are willing to participate, to contribute, let's just kind of channel that money to him and give a date. Maybe we'll give 10 days and say, okay, anybody who wants to chip in to help, send your money to Barrister Bibi. 10 days, you come on the forum and say, okay, this is the initiative we had, and this is how much we have. And I mean, it's open. These are the people that we have identified that will benefit from it. We put a criteria for you to be eligible. And then you guys on ground zero, Pascal said, sitting there, he already can tell some of the people that will benefit. You identify those and then we dish it out. It's just my thought.
Now, my question is, what of those who are willing to? They're in our forum, but they are not aware. They don't attend Zoom conference.
Okay. No, we'll take it to WhatsApp. We'll take it back to WhatsApp, right? That is the only opportunity that.
Okay, yeah. Then in that case, let's Johnny, come here. What's up? Yeah, let's put it on the forum and see. How are you?
Please, Martin, mark that as a resolution, please. A resolution. We will now cover the voluntary fund drive from the forum.
Where is Martin? Martin